If you're watching this video, it means that a demo of Half-Life 2 RTX is out now. This is the RTX remix-based remaster of Half-Life 2 done by Orbifold Studios that was announced to be in development all the way back in 2023. This demo includes most of Ravenholm, all RTXified, and a chunk of Nova Prospekt as well, giving you 2 chapters to take a look at to really see what they're up to over there, and to see what RTX Remix and all the new NVIDIA-developed technology is doing for this now over 20-year-old game. I was able to play the demo a couple of days early and definitely have some first impressions and opinions to share with you, so before you download the demo for yourself, why not listen to me ramble about it for a bit, huh? Let's get into it.
LambdaGeneration.
Before we get into the demo, let me talk a little bit about what this whole thing actually is. Half-Life 2 RTX is a project that's currently mainly being developed by Orbifold Studios, which is a team of well-known community members who have been doing Half-Life modding for a very long time now. This team includes people who work or have worked on Raising the Bar Redux, Half-Life 2 remade assets for Half-Life Alyx, and the Half-Life 2 VR mod amongst others. And NVIDIA also helps out here and there to develop the underlying technology called RTX Remix. With RTX Remix, modders can very easily remaster classic games using full ray tracing, by easily replacing assets with much higher quality ones, and by using the latest GPU technologies in order to make it all work and run nicely, like multi-frame generation and DLSS 4. It's really powerful stuff, and there have already been a ton of mods made using RTX Remix that you can download and play off of ModDB. Maybe I should have a look at those in the future, huh? I've also made a bunch more videos about this technology and how Half-Life 2 RTX utilizes it, and I've collected them all in a nice little playlist in case you want to know more about it. I even did an interview with Orbifold team members in which some of the developers talk about how they're approaching this remaster. I highly recommend you check that out too. Want even more in-depth information? I also left a link down below where you can check out the official RTX Remix website. There is a lot of technical information on there that I would do an awful job at explaining in a video like this, so by all means check it out. Lastly, all the footage you're seeing in this video has been recorded using an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5080 card with all the settings set to their default state. Basically what you get when you launch the game for the first time. You can tweak the snot out of these settings though if you open up the settings window by pressing Alt+X if you want to make the mod more playable on systems with older cards. With all that being said, let's check out this demo. The first part of the demo is Ravenholm, and pretty much most of the chapter is here, except for the graveyard fight at the end. No idea why they had to cut it off there. I feel like it would have been more satisfying to end the Ravenholm part right after the graveyard fight, but hey, I'm glad that at least most of the chapter is here. And oh boy, is Ravenholm here! The moment you step into that first yard, you can already tell that the lighting has gotten a complete makeover. The atmosphere is still gloomy and creepy, but now with modern-looking lighting and much improved textures. Like, you can get really close and personal with these textures, and they still look really good. Textures now also have a lot of depth to them thanks to parallax occlusion mapping. With the lighting now being ray-traced and fully dynamic, it's just satisfying to light something on fire and see the entire room or alleyway light up appropriately. Or to shine your flashlight on a lightly colored wall and see that the light and color leak onto the other walls and floors close by. It really is something else. You also have a bunch of smaller light sources as well, like this red light on this machine that creates a nice reflection on the metal floor below, and these health kits light up the environment too. Might make it a little easier to spot them. Not only has the lighting and texture work been improved, but the models have also gotten an upgrade. They look incredibly detailed now as well, and the way the lighting interacts with some of these models and textures on them is a sight to behold. Look at this engine, for example. The pipes on it reflect the environment properly, the shadows from them graze the main part of the engine. Look, I'm not an engine expert, but it looks great. Almost like it's from a pre-rendered graphic or something. It's really impressive. Now let's talk about the NPCs and zombies here, because they're also fully updated. Now in my opinion, they did a very tasteful update here, keeping the same design, colors, and principles in place as the originals, but with a fully updated model and loads more polys and textures that look incredibly lifelike. Headcrabs also look very organic because of something called RTX skin. This makes the skin slightly translucent looking when lighting hits it just right, and it's a much needed addition in my opinion in order to, well, make them not look like clay or wax sculptures. And then there is Father Grigori, of course, who has gotten a full makeover. While yes, he looks a lot more detailed and also has that RTX skin applied to him, giving his skin this reddish sheen, he still looks like Father Grigori. Orbifol didn't go wild and completely redesigned him. They just updated him pretty tastefully, in my opinion at least. And I'm glad they're going with that approach. Can you imagine if they gave him hair or something? And man, look at these shadows! Ravenholm is absolutely the best showcase for this because it uses harsher lighting a lot. There is so much detail in these shadows, details you won't get from the more traditional rendering solutions. Look at this circular saw for example. See how the shadows are detailed and sharp at the base and get softer and fuzzier the further away from the saw it extends? Yeah, this cannot easily be faked, not to this level at least. All in all, I think Ravenholm looks pretty incredible in this remaster and is a great showcase of what RTX Remix and a lot of effort from a lot of community members can do to this old game. Oh, and let's not forget about Nova Prospekt, which has gotten pretty much the same treatment as Ravenholm. Brand new textures, models, and redone lighting to fully make use of what RTX Remix has to offer. And yes, it looks pretty incredible. We now also get to see Combine Soldiers and Antlions fully updated, and they are very detailed now as well. Looking like they could come straight out of a realistic looking animated movie or something with how high poly they are. The lighting is also still great, shining through the many metal bars and pillars of Nova Prospekt, creating these detailed looking scenes. It's just a treat for the eyes. And that mixed with the realistic reflections and materials, it's, well, you don't need me to repeat myself, honestly. What's also a treat for the eyes are the weapon models, by the way. In Nova Prospekt, we finally have pretty much all the weapons Half-Life 2 has to offer in our arsenal, giving us a good look at what direction they're going with them. And it looks like every weapon has at least gotten a texture upgrade, if not a model upgrade as well. All of them look super detailed, and the textures make them look incredibly realistic as well. And the way the lighting from the world properly graces the weapon view models brings the realism that much further. I mean, look at that crossbow. The metals and just the lighting and the shadows and the ambient occlusion on it, it just looks great. The Nova Prospekt chapter ends right before you enter that section that takes place between the Combine walls and right after the second Antlion fight. A bit of an abrupt ending, but fair enough. I guess we won't see Alex in this demo just yet. Other than all that, everything I've already said about Ravenholm pretty much applies here too. The best way I can describe Half-Life 2 RTX is that it's Half-Life 2 when you try to remember it from all the way back in the day. The graphics back then were pretty awesome, and a lot of people would argue that they're still pretty awesome, but they're back to being groundbreaking once again. Now, I've spent the majority of this video so far talking very fondly about Half-Life 2 RTX, but I do of course have a few criticisms as well that I would like to talk about. First off, there is some weird flickering going on sometimes. No idea exactly what causes this, if it's the frame gen stuff or maybe a bug with RTX Remix's model replacement, or maybe it's just on my end, I have no idea. There is also some weirdness going on sometimes with muzzle flashes from turrets in the Nova Prospekt section. They seem a bit too colorful. Maybe this is intentional, I just think it looks a little bit off. Even this mounted turret here causes some weirdness with the lighting slash fog further down the hall in this section. I have no idea what that's about. Lastly, I feel like the particles, while some being completely remade, could feel a little bit out of place still. So while the lighting, reflections, materials, and models are all updated and look phenomenal, the particles still let you know that it's source at its core. The particles do nicely react to the light though, so there is at least that. And that's it. Those are my opinions so far on the Half-Life 2 RTX Remaster, powered by RTX Remix. I'm sorry if this video seems a little all over the place. I only had a very short amount of time to get this video together before the demo releases. If you want to go ahead and play the demo for yourself, then by all means check the description below for a link to the Steam page. I really do have to tell you, experiencing this mod for yourself is a lot better actually than hearing me just ramble about it. You know, I can tell you and I guess show you in this video how good it looks, but you know, when you play it for real for yourself, like, it's a lot better, obviously. Like, go check it out for yourself. Like, even if you don't have an NVIDIA card or a, you know, current gen NVIDIA card, I would still ask you to try and just play it, right? Tweak the settings, really make it to your liking. I really do recommend you to check it out for yourself because, yeah, just do it, man. Just do it. It's free. I also want to thank NVIDIA and Orbifold for giving us early access in the first place and for letting us be a part of this. If you want more of us, we're on social media as well. We just launched our Blue Sky page, so if you want to follow us there, then please go ahead and check it out. Everything is linked down below in the description. Alright, I'll be seeing you all in the next video, which I promise is going to be a lot chunkier and a lot less rambly than this one. Salutations, and take care.
LambdaGeneration.